Day 10 officially opened the quarterfinal stage in Melbourne, where the margins become thinner and the level required to win rises sharply. With places in the semifinals at stake, experience, composure, and the ability to deliver in crucial moments clearly separated the players who advanced from those whose runs came to an end. Carlos Alcaraz delivered another statement performance, defeating Alex de Minaur 7-5, 6-2, 6-1 to move into the semifinals. The first set was the most competitive, with de Minaur using his speed and defensive skills to stay level and force long rallies. He competed well and pushed Alcaraz in the early stages, but once the Spaniard edged the opening set, the momentum shifted decisively. Alcaraz began striking the ball with more freedom, increasing his aggression while maintaining control and consistency. His forehand did most of the damage, and his movement allowed him to dominate extended exchanges. From the second set onward, Alcaraz was clearly in command, producing a clean, composed performance that underlined why he remains the standout player of the tournament so far. The second quarterfinal, Alexander Zverev secured his spot in the semifinals with a 4-set victory over Lerner Tien in a tough and physical contest. Two tight tiebreaks highlighted just how competitive the match was, especially early on. Tien showed courage and belief, continuing to play aggressive tennis even under pressure, but Zverev's experience ultimately told. The German's serve was a major weapon, particularly in the tie-breaks, where it gave him free points and control. Zverev also generated noticeably higher shot speed, forcing Tien into rushed decisions and unforced errors. While Tien's serve struggled at times, his tournament remains a major breakthrough. He's no longer a player for the future, but one who already belongs at this level. In the women's side, Aryna Sabalenka produced a commanding performance to stop Iva Jovic's impressive run, winning 6-3, 6-0 and leaving little room for doubt. From the opening games, the world number one dictated play with far greater pace, intensity, and confidence. Sabalenka consistently took the ball early, hit through the court, and finished points decisively, overwhelming Jovic with her power. The key difference came on the biggest points. Jovic created 5 break opportunities but couldn't convert any, while Sabalenka was clinical, winning 4 of her 8 chances. That efficiency swung momentum quickly. For Jovic, the tournament ends here, but at such a young age, her performance across the week confirms a very bright future. Against the very best, though, the step up in level was evident. One of the biggest surprises of the tournament came as Alina Svitolina dismantled Coco Gauff 6-1, 6-2 in a stunning quarterfinal performance. From the very first game, Svitolina played with clarity and purpose, striking the ball cleanly, taking time away, and finishing points with confidence. She hit a high number of winners while keeping her unforced errors remarkably low, showing a perfect balance between aggression and control. Gauff, on the other hand, had a very difficult day, struggling to find rhythm and leaking errors from both wings. Her serve offered little resistance, allowing Svitolina to step in and dictate. It was a complete performance from Svitolina and a surprisingly flat outing from Gauff, with the contrast between the two levels impossible to ignore. Carlos Alcaraz vs. Alexander Zverev is shaping up to be one of those semifinals that feels impossible to predict. Their head-to-head is tied at 6-6, and almost every match between them has been competitive, physical, and full of momentum swings. Alcaraz comes in as the slight favorite because of his form and the way he's been dominating opponents with his forehand, movement, and ability to change rhythm mid-rally. That said, this is his first ever semifinal at the Australian Open, so handling the moment and the pressure will be a real test. Zverev has the advantage of experience. He knows how to manage long matches, and when his serve is firing, he's extremely hard to break. If he keeps his unforced errors low and dictates with his backhand, he can absolutely push Alcaraz deep into a 5-set battle. Still, over a long match, Alcaraz's creativity, speed, and fighting spirit might be the deciding factors. The first semifinal sets up a compelling and emotional matchup between Elena Svitolina and Aryna Sabalenka, Ukraine versus Belarus. Off the court, the context is unavoidable, and Svitolina is unlikely to shake hands after the match, as she has consistently chosen not to do so against Belarusian players since the war began. On court, Sabalenka holds a clear 5-1 head-to-head advantage, largely due to her superior power and ability to dictate with serve and first-strike tennis. However, Svitolina arrives in outstanding form, playing aggressive yet disciplined tennis, defending extremely well, and converting pressure into control. If Svitolina can absorb pace and extend rallies, she has a real chance to make this match very tight. As the Australian Open moves deeper into its final stretch, there's no room left for comfort. The big names are still alive, but the gap between favorites and challengers has almost disappeared. New faces have earned their place, belief is growing across the draw, and every match now feels like a final. From here on, it's about handling pressure, seizing moments, and surviving the toughest days of the tournament. That's what Day 10 of the Australian Open delivered. If you enjoy the summary, leave a like and subscribe. See you tomorrow.